Ladies and gentlemen, right your now is not a reflection of your is potenti coming a L. It's a reflection of your beliefs. Every limitation you see around you was built by your own mind. The truth is, you have the power to manifest anything you desire. Wealth, love, purpose, peace, if you're bold enough to claim it. The universe isn't waiting for the perfect moment, it's waiting for your decision. The moment you decide to believe it's possible, everything in existence begins to rearrange itself in your favor. And ladies and gentlemen, every single thing you want in life, every dream, every goal, every burning desire that keeps you awake at night, exists right now in potential. It's not somewhere out there waiting for luck or timing to bring it to you. It's here. It's waiting for you to align your mind, your energy, and your actions with what you truly desire. The power to manifest anything you want isn't something that belongs to the few. It belongs to anyone who's willing to wake up, take responsibility, and step into the creator's seat of their own life. And you see, most people live as if life is happening to them. They look at their circumstances, their past, their disappointments, and they tell themselves stories that limit what's possible. They say, "I'll be happy when," or "I'll take action once I have the resources." But that mindset is exactly what keeps them trapped. The truth is, your external world is nothing more than a reflection of your internal world. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they are the blueprint for your reality. What you focus on expands. What you consistently think about becomes the vibration that shapes your life. And if you want to manifest anything, you have to start with clarity. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. Most people don't even know what they truly want. They say, "I just want to be happy," but happiness is not a destination. It's a byproduct of progress. Get specific, define it. What do you really want in your finances, your relationships, your health, your purpose? See it in detail. Feel it as if it's already done. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you give it a clear picture of your desired outcome, you're programming it to find ways to make that image real. And the second step is belief. Without belief, manifestation is just wishful thinking. You can't attract what you don't believe you deserve. You can't hold in your hands what you doubt in your heart. Most people sabotage their manifestations not because they don't want enough, but because deep down they don't think they're worthy of it. They've built stories around failure, around fear, around the idea that success is for someone else. The moment you change that story, the moment you decide that you are enough, everything shifts. Belief is not a feeling, it's a decision. You choose to believe until the results show up. You hold that vision until the world rearranges itself to match your conviction. And manifestation isn't magic. It's mastery. It's not about sitting on the couch and hoping life changes. It's about aligning your energy, your emotions, and your habits with what you say you want. When your thoughts and actions are in conflict, you create resistance. You can't think abundance while acting in scarcity. You can't declare you want love while closing yourself off from vulnerability. Every action you take sends a signal to the universe about what you're ready for. You must act as if it's already yours. You must live in the energy of the outcome before it arrives. And when you start living that way, something powerful happens. Life begins to meet you halfway. You'll start noticing coincidences, opportunities, people, and ideas showing up that align with your goals. That's not luck, that's resonance. You're tuning yourself to the frequency of what you desire. Just like a radio, you can only receive the signal you're tuned into. If you're tuned into fear, frustration, or doubt, you'll keep attracting situations that validate those emotions. But when you tune into gratitude, certainty, and expectation, you start attracting from a higher level. And gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in manifestation. Most people focus on what's missing, and that creates a vibration of lack. Gratitude flips the script. When you start appreciating what you already have, you tell the universe, I am abundant, and abundance attracts more abundance. Gratitude isn't passive, it's magnetic. It expands your capacity to receive because it keeps you in a state of openness. When you wake up every morning and genuinely give thanks for the life you already have, you become a match for the life you want to create. But let's be real, manifesting your desires won't always feel easy. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when nothing seems to be working, when you question whether you're on the right path. That's the test. The universe isn't denying you, it's refining you. It's asking, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to hold the vision even when the evidence isn't there yet? Most people give up right before the breakthrough. They plant the seed, water it for a while, then walk away because they don't see results. But manifestation doesn't happen on your timeline. It happens when alignment and readiness meet. And when obstacles show up, they're not signs to quit, they're opportunities to grow into the person who can handle what you're asking for. You're not just manifesting things, you're manifesting transformation. The car, the home, the relationship. Those are external symbols. What you're really after is the feeling of expansion, the sense of becoming more. You attract what you are, not what you want. So, if you want to manifest abundance, become abundant in your thinking, your speaking, your giving. If you want to attract love, become the embodiment of love without conditions, without waiting for someone else to give it to you. And everything in your life right now is a reflection of your standards. If you want more, raise them. Don't just hope your life changes, decide it will. Decide that you will no longer tolerate mediocrity in your habits, your focus, your emotional state. The moment you make that decision with absolute certainty, your life starts to reorganize around that choice. The universe responds to decisiveness. Indecision is the enemy of manifestation. You can't manifest abundance while holding on to doubt. You can't create a new life while clinging to the comfort of the old one. And when you make a clear decision and back it up with emotion and action, you activate a force inside you that's unstoppable. You've felt it before. That moment when you were certain, when there was no plan B, when you just knew something had to change. That's the energy that moves mountains. That's the energy that manifests miracles. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to wait for permission to access it. It's already in you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to claim it, and manifestation is about alignment, not luck. It's about matching the frequency of your desires through thought, feeling, and behavior. You have to live as though it's already happening now. You have to train your nervous system to feel what success feels like before it shows up. Because when you do that, you eliminate resistance. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop doubting and start knowing. The energy of certainty is magnetic. It pulls everything toward you. And remember, manifestation doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are being. You can talk about your dreams all day, but until your identity matches your vision, nothing changes. Change your identity and your reality will follow. That's the secret. You're not trying to get something, you're becoming someone. Someone who naturally attracts what they desire. Someone who expects miracles because they've learned that the universe mirrors their certainty. And every time you visualize your dream, every time you speak it with conviction, every time you act as though it's already done, you are bending reality in your favor. You are rewriting your story. You are reclaiming your power. You are proving to yourself that you are not a victim of your circumstances, you are the author of them. That is the essence of manifestation, not wishing, not waiting, but knowing. Knowing that whatever you desire is already yours the moment you decide it is. And when you truly understand that knowing, when it becomes the foundation of your being, your life begins to unfold in ways that seem almost supernatural. The right people appear at the right moments. The resources you once thought were out of reach begin to flow effortlessly toward you. The answers you were seeking reveal themselves not through struggle, but through stillness and intuition. That's when you realize manifestation isn't about forcing reality. It's about becoming aligned with it. You're no longer chasing, you're attracting. You're no longer striving in scarcity, you're allowing in abundance. But here's the truth that many people overlook. Manifestation requires emotional alignment. It's not enough to say the right affirmations or visualize your goals once a week. If deep inside you're vibrating with fear, doubt, or lack, that's the frequency you're broadcasting. You can't fool energy. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your dominant emotion. So, if you want to manifest greatness, you must learn to master your emotional state. You must train yourself to feel the feelings of success, peace, love, and gratitude before those results appear. When your inner world becomes congruent with what you desire, the outer world can't help but rearrange itself to match that vibration. And think about it, every breakthrough you've ever had didn't come from a place of fear. It came from a state of certainty, empowerment, and belief. When you were truly in flow, when you knew something deep inside you was guiding the way, didn't everything start working out faster than you could explain? That's not coincidence. That's you operating from the frequency of manifestation, and you can live there daily, not just when things are going right, but especially when life tests you. And because life will test you, the universe will always challenge your commitment to your desires. The moment you set a new intention, old patterns, doubts, and fears will rise up to see if you truly mean it. They'll whisper, "You've tried this before, it didn't work." They'll tempt you to fall back into comfort, to lower your expectations, to settle. But those challenges aren't here to stop you. They're here to strengthen you. Every delay, every disappointment, every moment of uncertainty is sculpting the version of you that can sustain what you're asking for. You're not being punished, you're being prepared, and so when life throws resistance at you, smile. Recognize it for what it is, feedback. Feedback showing you where you still need alignment. If something isn't showing up, ask yourself, what am I still holding onto that's out of tune with my desire? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's a belief you inherited from someone else that says you're not enough. The moment you identify it, you can shift it. You have the power to rewire your thoughts, to regulate your emotions, to choose a new story. The greatest freedom you'll ever experience is realizing that no one and nothing outside of you has control over your vibration. You decide what frequency you live on, and manifestation isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. It's about catching yourself when you drift into negativity, not judging it, but realigning quickly. The faster you return to your center, the faster your reality responds. You see, energy loves consistency. The universe rewards clarity and commitment. When you hold your vibration steady despite temporary chaos, you prove that your faith is stronger than your fear. That's when the breakthroughs come, right after you refuse to quit. But let's talk about something even deeper, the role of identity. You can't manifest a new reality with an old identity. You can't say, "I want abundance," while identifying as someone who's always broke. You can't declare, "I want love," while believing deep down that you're unlovable. The outer world cannot exceed the self-image you hold inside. So, if you want to attract something greater, you must become someone greater. You must step into the identity of the person who already has it. And ask yourself, how does that version of me think? How do they walk, speak, and show up every day? How do they treat others? How do they treat themselves? That identity doesn't wait for results to feel confident, grateful, or deserving. It embodies those emotions now. You're not faking it. You're training your nervous system to become it. Every thought, every action, every decision you make in alignment with that identity is casting a vote for your future self. Eventually, the repetition of those choices becomes your new reality. And manifestation isn't instant, but it is inevitable when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions consistently. It's like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust that it's doing its work beneath the surface. You water it, you nurture it, you give it sunlight, and one day it breaks through the soil. That's how your dreams manifest. Quietly, then suddenly. The timing may not always match your expectations, but it will always match your readiness. And patience isn't about waiting, it's about trusting. Trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way. Trusting that even the delays serve your highest purpose. When you operate from trust, you stop chasing outcomes and start living in alignment. You become magnetic to opportunities, ideas, and people that accelerate your vision. Life starts feeling less like a battle and more like a dance. You flow with it instead of fighting against it, and yet, trust doesn't mean passivity. You still take massive, intentional action. You still show up every single day with focus and intensity. But your action now comes from a place of inspiration, not desperation. You're not hustling to prove your worth, you're moving because you're already aligned with it. That's when your energy becomes unstoppable. That's when you wake up each morning with fire in your heart because you know you're creating your reality consciously, not accidentally. And here's something most people overlook. Manifestation thrives on expansion. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. The universe rewards movement, progress, evolution. Every time you step into discomfort, every time you challenge an old limitation, you signal to life that you're ready for more. The reason many people stop manifesting is that they become too comfortable. They forget that growth and uncertainty are inseparable. You cannot evolve while clinging to certainty. The unknown is where your desires live. That's where your potential expands. And so, learn to love uncertainty, learn to dance with the unknown. Every time you leap without the guarantee, you strengthen your faith muscle. You start to trust your intuition more than your circumstances. And when you do that, you become unstoppable because your power no longer depends on what's happening around you. It depends on what's happening within you. And you are a powerful creator, but that power demands responsibility. You can't manifest freedom while blaming others for your situation. You can't manifest success while holding resentment or envy. Those emotions block your flow because they tell the universe you're not yet ready to receive. Forgiveness, compassion, and detachment are your tools to stay aligned. Let go of what no longer serves you. Not because you're weak, but because you're clearing the energetic space for what's next. And when you forgive, you free yourself. When you let go, you rise higher. You cannot attract your future while gripping your past. Manifestation requires space, mental, emotional, and spiritual. It asks you to empty your cup so it can be refilled. So release the grudges, the disappointments, the identities that no longer fit. Each time you do, you'll feel lighter, freer, more magnetic. And remember, manifestation isn't only about attracting, it's also about becoming aware of what you've already manifested. Everything in your life right now was once a thought, a belief, a vibration. The car you drive, the friends you keep, the career you're in, all of it is evidence of your creative power. If you created this reality, imagine what else you can create when you become intentional about it. And when you fully embody this truth, you stop living reactively and start living consciously. You begin to see every thought as a seed, every emotion as fuel, every challenge as an initiation into greater power. You start to realize that the universe isn't separate from you, it's responding to you. You are not small, insignificant, or powerless. You are energy in motion, creation in human form. You are the painter and life is the canvas. Every moment you think, speak, or act, you are brushing strokes of destiny across that canvas. And so, live deliberately, think with purpose, speak with power, feel with depth, act with conviction. Because every time you do, you're manifesting the next chapter of your life in real time. You're sculpting the reality that others will call luck, coincidence, or miracle. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was you all along, your vision, your energy, your unwavering belief in what's possible. That made it real. And when you truly know it was you all along, that realization changes everything. Because once you understand that your power to create is limitless, you stop waiting for the world to give you permission to live fully. You stop waiting for the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect plan. You realize that perfection isn't the requirement for manifestation, alignment is. The universe doesn't respond to hesitation, it responds to energy, to certainty, to movement. When you move with conviction, life bends to meet you halfway. Doors that once seemed locked begin to open, paths that were hidden begin to unfold, and what once looked impossible starts feeling inevitable. But let's be honest, there will always be a part of you that wants to play it safe. That voice inside that whispers, what if it doesn't work out? That fear of looking foolish, of failing, of being disappointed again. That voice isn't your enemy, it's a part of you that's simply forgotten how powerful you are. It's the part of you that's been conditioned by a lifetime of limits, of being told to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to fit in instead of stand out. But manifestation requires courage, the courage to believe in something before you can see it, the courage to trust yourself even when others don't. You cannot manifest greatness while clinging to comfort, and every time you push beyond fear, every time you step into uncertainty, you expand the boundaries of what's possible for you. That's how you grow your energy field. That's how you attract on a higher level, because your vibration is no longer rooted in fear but in faith. Faith is not passive, it's not hoping things will happen. Faith is an active force. It's the declaration, no matter what it looks like right now, I know what's coming. When you carry that energy, everything in your reality starts to shift in response to it. And here's what most people miss. Manifestation doesn't just happen through big actions. It's built in the small, consistent moments, the way you talk to yourself in the mirror each morning, the way you handle challenges, the way you show gratitude for even the tiniest progress. Every thought and emotion is either feeding your vision or starving it. You don't need to control every thought, but you must become conscious of them. The moment you become aware of a thought that contradicts your desire, you have a choice: to feed it or to reframe it. When you choose the empowering perspective again and again, you start reprogramming your subconscious mind. And your subconscious is the real powerhouse of manifestation. And your subconscious mind is the soil in which your desires grow. Whatever you plant there consistently through repetition, emotion, and belief becomes your reality. If you keep feeding it thoughts of abundance, joy, love, and possibility, that's what it will reproduce. But if you feed it fear, limitation, and doubt, that's what you'll experience instead. So you have to become the conscious gardener of your mind. Pull out the weeds of negativity before they take root. Nurture the seeds of possibility until they bloom. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. And sometimes the greatest act of manifestation is simply staying consistent when it feels like nothing's happening. It's easy to have faith when results are visible. The real mastery comes when you can maintain belief in the unseen. That's the realm where energy begins to gather momentum. That's where miracles are formed. Think of it like a bow being pulled back. The resistance you feel isn't holding you back, it's storing power. And when you finally release, that energy propels you forward with incredible force. Every period of waiting, every setback, every challenge is simply the tension before your breakthrough. And the people who manifest the most extraordinary lives are not the ones who never feel fear or doubt. They're the ones who don't let those feelings dictate their actions. They move anyway. They speak their desires into existence anyway. They act as if long before evidence shows up. And eventually, that energy becomes undeniable. The universe mirrors back the certainty they've cultivated within. That's how reality shifts. It's an echo of your inner conviction. And now, let's talk about something even more profound. The connection between purpose and manifestation. You can manifest anything, but the deepest, most fulfilling manifestations come when your desires are aligned with your higher purpose. Because when your goals serve not just you, but something greater, your energy multiplies. You tap into a flow that feels effortless because it's supported by the universe itself. You are no longer manifesting from ego, you're manifesting from contribution, and that's when life rewards you with even more. Because you're not just taking from it, you're adding to it. And ask yourself, why do I want what I want? What's the emotion behind it? If your desire is rooted in lack, wanting something to fill a void, it will always feel fleeting. But if it's rooted in expansion, growth, and service, the energy around it becomes unstoppable. You stop chasing results and start embodying purpose. That's when synchronicities multiply, because you're operating from alignment with the deeper intelligence of life itself. And manifestation is not just about visualizing and affirming. It's about embodying. It's about becoming a living, breathing representation of your vision. You must live as though it's already happening now. That means showing up with the energy of the person who already has what they desire. Speak their language, make their choices, carry their confidence, feel their gratitude. You don't wait for external confirmation. You give it to yourself. The universe mirrors your energy, not your words, and yet, embodiment also means releasing attachment. You must want your desires without needing them. The moment you need something to feel whole, you've declared to the universe that you are incomplete, and that energy repels what you want. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you trust completely. It's saying, I already have everything I need, and what's meant for me will flow effortlessly in perfect time. That state of peaceful expectation is the sweet spot of manifestation. And when you truly live in that state, you begin to experience flow. Ideas come effortlessly, opportunities align seamlessly, people cross your path at divine timing, and it feels as if life is conspiring for you, because it is. The universe has always been on your side. It's never withholding anything from you, it's matching your vibration. The moment your inner world reflects wholeness, joy, and abundance, your outer world will follow. And there will be times, however, when your manifestations seem delayed, and you might wonder if you're doing something wrong. But delay doesn't mean denial, it means preparation. Sometimes the universe is rearranging circumstances, aligning people, and developing you into the person who can sustain what you've asked for. You don't want a blessing you're not ready for. The waiting isn't punishment, it's refinement. It's sculpting you for longevity, not temporary success. And through that process, your greatest power is gratitude. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about declaring, I already have enough. When you live in that vibration, you attract even more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude trains your focus toward abundance rather than lack. It keeps your energy high, your heart open, and your mind creative. When you're grateful, fear loses its grip and doubt can't survive. Gratitude keeps your manifestation energy clean. And another secret to manifestation lies in contribution. The fastest way to attract what you want is to help someone else get what they want. When you give without expectation, you signal abundance. You affirm to the universe, I have more than enough to share. That act of generosity multiplies your flow. Life is not a closed system, it expands through giving. The more value you bring to others, the more value flows back to you. It's not just philosophy, it's energy in motion, and through it all, remember this, manifestation is not a destination, it's a state of being. It's a continual process of creation, alignment, and expansion. You're not here to chase things. You're here to become the kind of person for whom those things are natural. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And who you are is a limitless creator, capable of bending reality through intention, emotion, and inspired action. And so, when you wake up tomorrow, don't wait for a sign, don't wait for certainty, don't wait for someone to give you permission to step into your power. Start now, feel now, act now, live now. The universe responds to movement, to momentum, to energy and motion. The moment you declare, "This is who I am and this is what I'm creating," life begins to reorganize itself around that declaration. You don't have to know how. It's not your job to figure out every detail. Your job is to stay aligned, to stay certain, and to stay open. And because the truth is, you've been manifesting your entire life, only now you'll do it consciously. You'll do it with intention, with purpose, with passion. You'll stop reacting to circumstances and start creating them. You'll stop waiting for life to happen and start commanding it. And as you do, the impossible begins to look ordinary, and the extraordinary becomes your new normal. And because when the extraordinary becomes your new normal, you realize that there's no ceiling to what's possible for you. You begin to understand that the limits you once believed in were never real. They were just walls built by fear and reinforced by repetition. You can dismantle them at any time because the same mind that built those walls can tear them down. Every time you challenge a limiting belief, every time you choose courage over comfort, you expand the container of what's possible for your life. And that expansion never stops. That's the beauty of manifestation. It's infinite. There's always more love to give, more abundance to receive, more impact to create. And you start to see that life is not about getting to a finish line. It's about continually evolving into more of who you truly are. Manifestation isn't about adding things to your life. It's about peeling away everything that isn't you. It's about removing the layers of fear, guilt, and doubt that have covered your true essence. Because beneath all that noise is pure potential. When you reconnect to that, you remember that creation is your natural state. You were never meant to settle. You were meant to grow, to create, to express, to manifest endlessly. But there's something powerful that happens when you start living this way. You stop seeing obstacles as problems, and you start seeing them as portals. Every challenge that shows up isn't there to block your manifestation. It's there to upgrade you to the next level of it. The universe doesn't test you to punish you, it tests you to prepare you. It's like training a muscle. You can't build strength without resistance. Every time you overcome doubt, fear, or uncertainty, you increase your capacity to hold more abundance, more success, more fulfillment. And the truth is, you already have everything you need to manifest your desires. You have the mind that can visualize it. You have the emotions that can feel it. You have the body that can act on it. You are equipped. The only thing standing in your way is the illusion that something is missing. That illusion is what keeps people waiting for the right time, the right resources, or the right person. But you don't manifest by waiting, you manifest by starting. The moment you begin, the universe begins too. Momentum creates miracles, and you've got to understand that energy loves direction. It's like a river. It needs a channel to flow through. When you set a clear intention and move toward it with belief and emotion, you give that energy purpose. That's when things start to align. That's when synchronicities multiply. But if you keep changing your direction, if one day you believe and the next you doubt, you create energetic confusion. You can't send mixed signals and expect clear results. Clarity is power. Decide what you want, own it, and hold that frequency like your life depends on it. And when doubt does come, and it will, don't fight it. Acknowledge it, feel it, and then remind yourself of the truth. You are not your doubt. You are not your fear. You are the awareness that observes them. The moment you step into that awareness, those emotions lose their power. They no longer control your state, they simply pass through you like clouds across the sky. You remain steady, certain, grounded in your vision. That's emotional mastery, that's energetic leadership, and the people who manifest powerfully are not those who never feel low. They're the ones who know how to realign quickly. They've trained themselves to shift their energy on command. They use tools, music, movement, visualization, breathwork, gratitude, to recalibrate their state. Because your state is everything. When your energy is high, your magnetism increases. Opportunities feel drawn to you. Ideas seem to download effortlessly. But when your energy is scattered or heavy, you repel what you desire without even realizing it. That's why the most important work you can ever do isn't external, it's internal, and your emotions are your guidance system. If you're feeling inspired, excited, and at peace, you're in alignment. If you're feeling anxious, frustrated, or stuck, you're out of alignment. That doesn't mean you're failing. It just means it's time to realign. The goal is not to avoid negative emotions, the goal is to not live in them. The faster you can return to gratitude, faith, and certainty, the faster your outer world will shift to match that vibration. Because manifestation is simply your outer world catching up to your inner world. And you must remember, manifestation happens through you, not to you. It's not something external that you have to chase or beg for. You are the channel through which it flows. You are the bridge between the invisible and the visible. The universe expresses through your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. When you understand that, you stop asking when will it happen, and start asking who must I become for it to happen. That question is the key. Because when you become the embodiment of the result, you no longer need to force anything. It flows naturally. And everything in your life is responding to who you're being. If you want more love, become love. If you want more abundance, embody abundance. If you want more peace, cultivate peace within. Your vibration is your greatest currency, it buys your reality. You don't need to convince anyone or prove anything. You just need to align yourself so deeply that your energy speaks louder than your words. When you do that, people will feel it, life will feel it, and it will respond accordingly. And yet, the biggest block to manifestation is often not disbelief, it's attachment. When you hold on too tightly to a specific outcome, you suffocate the flow of energy. You're telling the universe, I don't trust you. But trust is the foundation of manifestation. The paradox is that the more you let go, the more you receive. The moment you release the need to control the how and the when, you open the door for the universe to surprise you. And it always does, because it's infinitely creative. It will deliver in ways you could never plan. And so, when things don't go the way you expected, remember, they're still going your way. Sometimes, not getting what you want immediately is the greatest gift, because it's making space for something even better. Rejection is redirection, delay is protection. The universe always works in your favor, even when it doesn't look like it. Your job is not to figure out the plan. It's to keep your faith alive long enough for the plan to unfold. And as you continue to live this truth, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop comparing your journey to anyone else's. You realize that your timeline is perfect. You understand that your manifestations don't need to look like anyone else's because your soul came here for a unique experience. You stop competing and start celebrating. You stop needing validation because your validation comes from alignment. That's true freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms in harmony with your vision and values. And that freedom creates a ripple. Because when you manifest from alignment, you inspire others to do the same. You become proof of what's possible. You don't even need to preach or persuade. Your life becomes the message. People feel your energy, your certainty, your peace, and they begin to awaken their own power. That's how change spreads. Not through force, but through embodiment. You become the living evidence that creation is possible for anyone willing to believe. And that's why manifestation isn't selfish, it's service. When you become abundant, you can give more. When you become fulfilled, you can uplift others. When you live your truth, you give permission for others to do the same. You expand not just your own life, but the collective field of what's possible for humanity. You raise the vibration of everyone you touch simply by being who you truly are, aligned, powerful, and present. And that's the ultimate realization, that your desires are not random, they're not accidents, they are divine instructions guiding you toward your highest potential. The things you dream about, the visions that won't leave you alone, they're not fantasies, they're memories from your future, calling you to remember who you really are. The universe placed those desires within you because you're the one capable of bringing them to life. They're not just for you. They're for everyone who will be impacted when you bring them into reality. And so, when that desire burns inside you, don't suppress it, don't question it, honor it, feed it, protect it. It's sacred, it's the spark of creation moving through you, and every time you act on it, you're not just manifesting a goal. You're participating in the ongoing evolution of life itself. You're fulfilling your purpose as a creator, as a co-architect of reality. That's what you came here to do, to dream, to manifest, to expand, to inspire, and to remind the world what's truly possible when someone decides to live in alignment with their highest vision.